Hey y'all, Mikey here, chilling after work. Welcome to another Walking the Trails video. Let's get it. This one will be just chill. One. Different place I'm checking out. Never been here too, so yeah. Just gonna be looking at different things. Hopefully there's a lot of water. There's a dude leaving here with like a fishing rod and shit, so maybe there's a couple cool spots. No swimming. Probably nasty. And that shit's dark as fuck, brother. Probably gators all in that bitch. But yeah, I hope y'all doing good today, man. Hope y'all ready to see some good nature. It's finally getting warmer. I mean, stuff's gonna start coming alive. Looks like a loplolly, pond right there. So yeah, let's see. Kind of curious to see what we got going out on here. But yeah, I don't really have anything specific I was, wanting to talk about on this. Just kind of be chilling. Yeah, I hope y'all have been enjoying these if you've been tuning into them. I mean, I like doing this shit either way. If nobody sees it or not, it's just fun. And it's good to try to get people to go outside more. Oof, look at that loplolly. Final time seeing it, looks like. Might be right there. Thing's old. Gotta be at least 20 to 40 years old between there. Really depends on pines. Probably even a little bit older than that, you never know. But you don't know until you see inside. And depending on the growing conditions, depending on what I'm seeing here, I'm saying that thing is actually probably a little bit older. But yeah, it's seeding and it's dying off, so yeah, it's kind of sad. But that just gives way for new growth. As you can see, this one's too, so it looks like kind of the point of the whole new succession of the forest. So it's, if you really think about it, very important. Ooh, look at all this stuff, all this sage. I gotta figure out the true identification for this because it's so beautiful. Flowers are so beautiful too. Look at those things. Wow. I love it. There's a good amount of it. People throwing trash here. How can you see something that beautiful and be like, yeah, I'm gonna throw my trash here? Like, bro, you got problems. You know what I'm saying? You see that, you'd be like, damn. Come on, bro. I don't like to talk bad on people, but 9 times out of 10, that dude who was eating that was probably in a bad situation, and I'm happy you got mules and shit like that, but I mean, that kind of just shows you how karma works. You know? You treat stuff like that, you treat nature like that, then it's not gonna reward you. That's how I feel. But yeah. And back to the point of where we are in the, I feel like we're in a very critical point of succession of in the land and time frame to where I've been seeing a lot of points where there's old growth forests starting to die, which is a natural occurrence, you know what I mean? There is some that is human impacted forced, of course is a factor in some areas, and some is just a natural occurrence, but you have to see those signs and know that it's time that you have to be really keying in into getting the new growth of trees coming in. So yeah, very important. You can see this stuff's been used for a while. Look how degraded this is down to the freaking bedrock right here. Big limestone right here. What it looks like. Trail 2. Where's 2? What the hell happened here? Trail 2. I guess we go this way. Yeah. I don't really know. Fuck it. Yo, it's actually fucking warm out. It's actually nice. Oof, this is Lagodium bad. Real bad right here. And if I'm seeing this, if you see Lagodium growing by the road, that means inside the forest, there's a couple big ass patches. Massive patches. That's what I've learned with Lagodium. Lagodium, a lot of times it'll be like, oh, it's not there. Then you actually go inside the forest, and you'll see literally, basically almost like it took over, like that's my plot of land. It'll literally look like that, and it'll just keep spreading out. But it'll take over everything that's there and suffocate it. Ooh, let's see this viewpoint. This is not an authorized campground. Man, y'all need to chill out, bro. Let someone enjoy this beauty, bro. Wow. Oh, that's a fire view right there, bro. A fire view. I bet you there's some like good catfish and shit in here. Some big boys. This motherfucker. This is views right here, my bro. This is views right here. Make a little base on that little island right there, you be chilling, bro. You know what I'm saying? Clean out all that brush and shit. Take you some logs over there, build you a little base on top. You'd be dope. That should be dope. Tell me that shit wouldn't be fire. Yeah. Bitch looks clean. Hell yeah. And I'm sorry, yo. I don't know about y'all, but I gotta get one more look. Let's get down here by the water. This should be sketching me out, like, bro. Sea monster just jumps out, swallows you whole. Should be crazy. Look at our island. That shit's dope right there. Beautiful. Nice ass little cove. Like if you had this shit, you'd be chilling. I feel like you could farm on the sides, fish, have your own little fishery. Damn, I'm kind of happy I went here. I like it. Also, no, there's gotta be. There's a couple of issues with this place for sure. Squirrel. Of course. Sounds like a squirrel. Holly tree. What is she crying about? Can't see what it is. For sure, identification. Sorry. This is a red bay right here. These gulls is an also easy way to identify it. The way this would be telling if this was like a magnolia, this would have like a silverish underlining. This I'm trying to remember what this is. Like some kind of on the tip of my tongue. I really kind of want to know for sure. I think it's some kind of privet, but I want to make sure, you know. I don't want to tell you guys something wrong. So I have good knowledge on a lot of this stuff, but some things I have to, you know, you always can learn. You never know everything. If you think you know everything, you become oblivious. And we don't want that. That's what it is. Okay, willow tree. Okay. I was wrong, y'all. It's not a privet, it's a type of willow. Yeah, a type of willow tree. That's what I thought it was. I knew it was like some kind of outlandish kind of tree. Well, obviously, y'all. If you can tell where we are. There's a couple cool things going on here, but yeah. Ooh, nice. This dang little cold breeze just came through. Basically killed all the heat. Left or right. And y'all know me too, bro. I like to go off the main trail. Oh, it is a bird. There's squirrels that sound just like that shit. It's a blackbird. I'm going this way. We'll come back and see what's going on there, but we're just gonna go this way for now. See what we got. Seen the sign and I was like, I'm gonna just go this way, read this sign real quick. 2 different ways. Something campground. Those are both ways to campground, so we're gonna go this way. We finna go this way, my friends. Oof, that's limestone. They probably, if I had to assume, connect to the same thing anyway. Alright, let's get it. Oh shit, there is people camping here. Maybe it's good and go that way. I mean, they picked the right time to come. They came like a week earlier. They would have been freezing their ass off. And if they was here then, you crazy as hell. I had a story like that one time when you're freaking little. When I was little, we freaking stayed at this campground. Bro. It was one of the worst campgrounds in the world. It was like all campgrounds. I mean, you know how all campgrounds are kind of the same. You have the main building, and then you obviously have trees and stuff between you and the other campsites. This one, first off, barely had any cover from other campsites, so it was like you were just with the kids, which was fine because I was a kid at the time. But I mean, like, if you think about it, for people and stuff, they might not want to be there. Look at these flowers. But yeah, it was like open, so there was everybody there, and it was like from back then Florida used to never really get that cold. You know, it used to always be warm, like always, even in the winter, even in January, February, it was still warm. Well, we decided to go camping then, right? Man, tell me how. So first thing you do is when you go camping, you know how most tents they have the top open. Satis. That's why I thought this was an azalea. I mean, this has got to be invasive as fuck here. But so then we basically decided to go, right? And we forgot the top cover of the tent. Which is not a good sign. And y'all probably think like, oh no, it probably started raining on them. No. It was like fucking 20 to 10 degrees. I'm not even joking. I remember, and I only had like a sleeping bag. I don't even think I had a blanket or anything. And we were like fucking just like freezing our ass off. And we stayed for 3 days. Oh my god. It was so bad. And we was like, so then like, you know, you might have to go to the bathroom at night time too. Well, of course our site was like the farthest one away from the fucking pavilion thing. Usually the pavilion and the campsites, it's almost like a perfect circle or to be as close as possible. No, this was like a freaking stretched out oval. And we were at the farthest fucking one. I don't know where I am. I'm kind of curious to see what's this over here. Oh. Freight, yellow freight. The hell is this? What the fuck? Oh, they just got fucking drop power lines over here. Hopefully they're not alive. Huh. Thought it was gonna be something a little bit more interesting. Probably some cool collectibles and shit in there, but I'm good off that. There's the way out. Hold up, y'all. My shoe came untied. There we go. Back on the road. On the road again. Nice breeze. Okay. It got windy. It's been getting crazy weather. It was warm as fuck. Like warm, felt warm. Then it started getting a little chilly now. It's fucking breezy as fuck. Damn. I always wonder what these things are. They're probably nothing. It's probably just like, I don't even know what could be there, but probably like a piping into the ground, but it's probably nothing. It's for sure got a purpose, and I'm underplaying it, but whatever. Hey, let's hope this tree regrows. Loplani. Oh no, that's Kogan. So you see all this broomstead? You could tell it's like coming up. This is like another like marsh grass. And then you see that's just like, that's Kogan. $200%. Which is bad. It's just weird to me, like, I don't know if like someone does this on purpose, because I'd be going to all these different places in Florida and it'll just be random things like Kogan growing. And I understand seeds will fly around and stuff and it could start new, but it's just kind of weird. Like, it's just not near any other invasive grasses. But yeah, I'm actually gonna take a second and pull all this, so we'll be right back, y'all. Peace out. Hey, I'm back. As you can see, it's already all done. Shit wasn't even 10-20 minutes, man. That's how easy it is. You take the time, do that real quick. Now some people might say in the comments, why would you do that? It's gonna grow back. Kogan has that ability. Well, certain things that are explained about plants are misleading, and just like anything, language, it can be misleading. It can be used as a weapon. Language can be used as a very powerful weapon for how a society perceives a single word can drastically change. Basically, it can almost change the entire makeup of society, just depending on how the people depict certain words. But same thing with plants. You can either it can either be the same thing as happened with plants like that. So yes, it will regrow, but not all of it's gonna regrow. It doesn't. Not all of that. All the roots that I pull. First off, a lot of times you get the whole root. A lot of times they're connected, and once you break up that connection, it has to spend energy that it would be putting to the grass and the seed into actually rebuilding the whole shoot and then the grass, and it might not have enough energy, and what happens then? Dies. Same thing when you rip it out. You could stress it out. You're stressing it out by doing that. Same thing as a chemical would do. That's just stressing the plant out. But this is a natural way that doesn't cause a negative harm to the earth. It's actually beneficial and helps out. 3, native vegetation will be able to grow now there and outcompete it and hopefully beat it. Whereas if you spray chemical, you're probably going to make more of an ideal environment for the invasive plants, and you're going to get less native growth back. But they know that. It's on purpose. It's all on purpose. That's why I gotta sneak these messages in, kinda. Because it should be crazy how the world is now. But yeah, you can do better. And you don't need to spray chemical to get rid of codeine. You come back, so for example, you break that off, boom. So usually what it'll do, it'll shoot up like a bunch of little ones now. Because it's, you know, it's wasted so much energy trying to regrow everything. So now it has to try to take in even more than it usually would, because it's expended even more energy than it normally would have without us pulling it out. Which in cause allows the plant to be even weaker. So then when we come in that second time and boom, pluck all those, then you'll, the second time too, it's usually a lot easier. You have less work. The more you do it, the less work you have. You pluck them, that's going to stress it out even more than it did the first time, because there's going to be even more points of access to where new growth is coming from, and it's going to allow for more diseases, fungal bacteria to get inside the plant and actually fuck it up. And that's what we need. So yeah, it is possible. Even with those big places where the whole entire thing is just fucking Kogan now, you can remediate those things. And the way to do that is you first have to cut down all of it. You don't, well, not all of it, you might say most of the time, yeah, you want to cut it. Obviously we're going to try to eradicate it all, but we're going to want to first investigate the grass and see if there is any native vegetation present anywhere. Because if we have locations of native dead vegetation, that's a sign of areas where we should focus on the remediation and restoration of the land, because we already have key factors in our favor there. Native, obviously native flora. The native flora is going to bring native fauna, and having the native flora is going to bring native bacteria and fungus, as well restore the land to what we're supposed to be having in that ecosystem. So then once we figure out, okay, let's say we got this area, say we got up here, we got boom, got a bunch of baby pines growing up. So that area we might be a little bit more cautious when we cut down the Kogan. And you don't want to just cut down and leave it flat. You want to chop it up to make the decomposition faster, but also allow some areas to allow a slight penetration of the sunlight to bring the regrowth of native vegetation as well, because it's going to need that temperature, different temperature regime. So what happens too is when Kogan takes over, it completely changes the soil temperature and the whole rhizosphere and everything. Just fucked up. But yeah, and the worst thing imaginable is to leave it be. That's the worst thing you could do. So if you got any, get on top of it. The longer you wait, the worse it'll be. It's like anything. And this is not just a Florida problem. This is a worldwide issue with Kogan. When you do your research, some of the greatest plains in Asia and Africa, some of them in South America, because it's not native really to there, are just completely destroyed now. Have basically no vitality because they're just Kogan. You're on the road again. It's through the wetlands, okay. Ain't there yet, but we getting there. Damn, those pines look good. Look at that motherfucker. What's up, buddy? Motherfucking lizard, bro. On video. Alright, let's get it. Hope y'all enjoying this shit. Thought I would do like a 50-50. So I'll just be chilling the rest of the way back. Good luck right there, butterfly. And she's gone. Cole gone. Be gone, boy. Alright, y'all, this is I'm gonna end this episode of Walking the Trails. I hope y'all enjoyed this. Please make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and I will see y'all in the next video. Peace out.